Hello everyone, I'm Dave Robbins with Endtime Ministries, and this is your Prophecy in the News. I want to talk to you today about a national identification system as a precursor to the mark of the beast. In Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 through 18, it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." And what this is talking about is the Antichrist, about 3.5 years before the second coming of Jesus Christ, is going to dole out what we know as the mark of the beast. Everyone will be given a number, and without that number, you won't be able to buy or sell. Well, one of the things that brought this to remembrance in my mind, of course, we study the prophecies all the time, but I recently just got back from Israel, and I was walking through the Holocaust Museum over there, and I saw a quote. I come to this one section where it was talking about Hitler's identification of the Jews. And what he did, he gave all of them numbers tattooed on their arm. Many of you can go to the internet and see pictures of all of these Jews with numbers tattooed on their arm. And I seen a quote from one of the Jews who was in the Nazi concentration camp. And this is what they said: "My name is 174517. We will carry the tattoo on our arm until we die." It seems that this is the real, true initiation into the concentration camp. Only by showing one's number tattooed on their arm can one get bread and soup. I sat there and copied that down as I saw that on the wall in the Holocaust Museum, and I thought, man, they've been trying to do this for years. Hitler tried to do this to all the Jews. He numbered all of them so he could control them. And that's the same thing that the Antichrist is going to do just before the second coming of Jesus Christ. It's given in Revelation 13, 16 through 18. And so, as I was reading the news yesterday, there was an article by Jim Harper from the Cato Institute that said the path to a national identification system. And it laid out a new bill that was just given by John McCain and some of the others up in the White House that are trying to use the immigration problem to implement a national ID system here in the United States. It's talking about the Real ID Act. It's talking about E-Verify. It's all tied in together. Now, what they're saying is they actually have a section that says this is not to be used as a national identification system. But if you've known what's going on lately, if you've ever heard any of these bills that come to pass, they can say one thing, but they mean absolutely the opposite. And so, how is this a national identification system? Well, number one, it lays out in this bill that it is a national system. All of the DMVs and all of the different employment systems across the nation are going to be used. They're going to have access to this database. So number one, it's national. Number two, it's an identification system. What they're using right now is the immigration problem, saying, well, we are going to have to ID everybody who has a job to make sure they're illegal workers or legal workers. So we're going to use the employers as kind of like representatives to go out and make sure for the government that these people are legal and illegal. So now if you're an employee or an employer, you're going to be drawn right into this whole system. So it's another way that they're trying to implement a national ID system. E-Verify, Real ID Act, all of these are bringing us into a national identification system, which Americans have resisted for 233 years now. And so what we're watching is prophecy coming to pass. These are all precursors leading us to this national identification system, which most of the world already has a national ID system now. The United States has been one of the few strongholds that have resisted it, but they're constantly pushing this world governing system to ID, give everybody on earth their own unique identification system, which eventually will be ruled by the world government and the Antichrist, doled out during the final 3.5 years just before the second coming of Jesus Christ. And this was just another way that they're trying to do that here in the United States. And so if you would like a copy of this article, which outlines all of the ways they're trying to do it, by Jim Harper at the Cato Institute, email me at drobbins@endtime.com, and I'll send you a copy of the article. And it was just so sad when I saw this quote from this person who was in a Nazi concentration camp saying that they didn't even give their name. Somebody interviewed them and they gave their number. They said, "My name is 174517. It appears that the Antichrist is going to do the same thing that Hitler did to the Jews, give everyone on earth their own unique identification number so he can economically sanction them to control them and get them to bow down to his edicts. And we want to keep you aware of what's going on because we're just before the second coming of Jesus Christ. Thank you for watching. I'm Dave Robbins with Endtime Ministries, and this is your Prophecy in the News.